Hey guys, want to unlock a never-ending stream of B2B leads without spending a fortune on ads? Well, today we're diving into the art of B2B directory for leads using Capterra. But here's the kicker. While it sounds like a tech wizard's job, it's actually a walk in the park when you know the right tools. And just when you think you nailed it, there's a sneaky trick that makes the whole process even smoother. Curious? Stick around to find out. So first of all, thank you for coming back, and a big welcome to all the new subscribers joining us today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jake Dawson, and I'm here to bring you the latest in AI sales automation and workflow hacks in a way that's easy to understand and apply. And as always, remember that everything we cover here, it's to help you succeed. These are not just theories, but actionable strategies that you can use right now. Now, if you're new here or looking for even more ways to level up, don't forget to check out our school community. It's linked below, and inside you'll find exclusive Make.com templates, including the one that we're using today, that you can import directly and start using immediately. We've built a whole space for learners and doers just like you, where you can ask questions, get direct help, and connect with like-minded folks who are ready to take action. And of course, you can always subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified of our bi-weekly videos, live sessions, and more. Let's jump right in. So, why scrape B2B directories for leads? Well, imagine having a list of potential clients at your fingertips, ready for you to reach out and make connections. Whether you're a startup looking to grow your client base or a seasoned pro aiming to expand your network, this video is your golden ticket to mastering the lead game. Let's dive into the details and see how you can apply these steps to boost your business. All right, first up, why are we looking at Capterra? Think of it as a Yelp for businesses, except it's all about services and software. The goal here is simple. We're going to pull business details like their website and key info to figure out who's worth reaching out to. Once you've got that info, you can decide how to engage them. It's like having a sneak peek at their resumes before making a call. Now, let's start with the directory pages. Here's what we're doing. These are like the front doors to all the businesses listed on Capterra. We'll use a Chrome extension called Web Scraper to grab links to individual business profiles. It's super simple to use. Just add the extension to Chrome, open it up, and you're ready to go. Once inside Capterra, you'll set the scraper to collect profile links from the directory pages. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it so you're not clicking around aimlessly like I did the first time I tried this. Okay, now we've got the links to the profiles. What's next? We'll be diving deeper into each business profile to get all the juicy details, like website URLs and other important stuff. This is where Make.com comes in handy. Make is like your all-in-one automation toolkit. With Make, you'll create a scenario that connects to those profile links we just scraped and extract data like website URLs. I know creating a scenario might sound a little intimidating, but trust me, it's basically a drag and drop situation. You'll be able to see exactly what's happening as it processes each link, which makes it super satisfying. All right, now that we've got the game plan, let's get to work. First things first, let's talk about getting the Web Scraper Chrome extension installed. This part is super easy, and I promise it won't take more than a few minutes. So fire up Google, type in Chrome Web Store, and click on that first result. Once you're there, look for the search bar at the top. It's hard to miss. Type in Web Scraper and hit enter. Now, you're going to see a list of results, but the one you want has a light blue icon and is labeled Web Scraper, free web scraping. Trust me, it's not some knockoff. This is the real deal. Click on it, add to Chrome, and boom, you're all set. Now, with that installed, we're ready to jump into Capterra. Head to their website and find a category you're interested in. Let's say it's accounting for this example. Once you're there, you'll see a list of businesses in that category. This is where the magic starts, so keep your focus here. If you're like me, you might get distracted by all the filters and extra links, but don't worry about those for now. Stick to the main list of providers because, well, that's what we're scraping. Now here comes the fun part, using the web scraper. Right-click anywhere on the Capterra page and select Inspect. If you've never done this before, don't panic. You're not going to break the internet by clicking around. Once the developer tools are open, look for a tab labeled Web Scraper. If you don't see it right away, click those two little arrows to expand the menu, and you'll find it. Click on it, and now you're in business. To get started, you'll create something called a sitemap. Don't let the term intimidate you. It's just a fancy way of telling the scraper where to look. Click Create New Sitemap and give it a name like Capterra Links, and paste the URL of the current page into the URL field. Hit Create Sitemap, and you've officially told the web scraper what to do. It's like setting up a treasure map for your leads. Pretty cool, right? Now we've got our sitemap ready. It's time to set up the selectors. Think of selectors as the specific things you're telling the scraper to grab. It's like handing it a grocery list and saying, get this and only this. First, we're adding a selector for the profile links. Click on Add New Selector and name it something simple like link. Make sure the type is set to link too. Don't overthink it, it's exactly what it sounds like. Then hit the select button and click on the name of the business you see for each business card on the page. Once you're done, check the multiple box. This is super important because we want it to grab all the links, not just one. Finally, click Save Selector. Easy, right? Next, let's tackle pagination. Pagination is just a fancy word for the little numbers or next button that let you go from one page of a listing to the next. Add a selector and call it pagination. Set the type to link. Now hit the select button and click on all the pagination links on the page. Make sure you're covering every page option so the scraper knows how to navigate through them. Once you're done selecting, save it, and just like that, you taught your scraper how to flip through pages like a pro. Before we move on, let's take it a step further. Go back into your selectors, click on pagination, and add another selector inside of it. Call this one something like link to, and again, set the type to link. Select the profile links on the page one more time. This makes sure the scraper grabs links from every page during pagination. It's like a backup plan to make sure nothing gets missed. Save it, and now your scraper is good to go. All right, it's time to test this bad boy out. Go to your sitemap dropdown, find Capterra links, and click on Scrape. Then hit Start Scraping and watch the magic happen. You'll see the scraper pulling in links one by one. If you're like me, you'll probably want to watch it work for a bit. It's oddly satisfying, but hey, if you've got other stuff to do, that's cool. Just let it run and it'll finish the job for you. Once it's done, you're ready to export the data. Go back to the sitemap, click on Export Data, and choose CSV as the format. This gives you a nice clean file with all the profile links. Download it to your computer, and you're officially a data scraping rock star. All right, now that you've got that CSV file downloaded and feeling like a data scraping champ, it's time to get organized. First, let's create a new folder in Google Drive. Open your Google Drive and click on that big old plus new button on the left. Name the folder something that makes sense, like businesses. Once that's done, drag and drop your new shiny CSV file into the folder. Boom. Your data is now safely stored in the cloud, ready for action. Next, let's open the file in Google Sheets so we can really start working with it. Right-click on the file in Drive, select Open With, and then choose Google Sheets. This will automatically convert the CSV file into a proper Google Sheets document. Once it's all open, you'll see all of your links neatly lined up, ready for the next step. Look, if this doesn't make you feel like you're running your own little data operation, I don't know what will. Now, let's make this sheet a bit more user-friendly. Manually copy all the profile links from the sheet into a new spreadsheet. Yes, it's a little tedious, but trust me, keeping your data clean now will save you headaches later. Name this new spreadsheet something straightforward like leads or businesses. In the first sheet, rename it to links. Add a header column at the top and call it URLs. Paste all your profile links under this header, making sure each one has its own row. It's like giving each link its own little VIP seat. Here's where it gets fun. Let's prep a second sheet for collecting the detailed data we're going to scrape. Click that little plus sign at the bottom left of the Google Sheets to add a new sheet and name it Data. In this sheet, you're going to set up columns for all the information you want to collect. Start with the basics like business name, business description, pricing, employees, and location. Add columns for anything else you might need, like services, rating, website information, and emails. Feel free to tweak the list depending on your specific goals. Remember, the more organized you are now, the smoother this process will be. All right, with your Google Drive and Sheets all set up, it's time to dive into automation with Make.com. Head over to make.com and either log in or sign up if you haven't already. Once you're in, navigate to the scenarios page. This is where the magic happens, guys. You're going to create an automation that takes those profile links and extracts detailed data from each one. It's like turning on autopilot for your data collection process. In the scenarios page, click that shiny Create a New Scenario button at the top right. Think of it as starting a new project. Give it a good name like B2B Directory Scraper so you know exactly what it's about when you come back to it later. Naming it something generic like My Scenario 1 might seem tempting now, but trust me, you'll thank yourself in the future for being organized. Now, let's set up the trigger. Click the little plus icon, search for Google Sheets, and select it. When you're asked to choose an action, pick Search Rows. This is like saying, hey, make.com, keep an eye on this spreadsheet for me. If you haven't connected your Google account yet, just click Connect Google Sheets and follow the prompts. It's quick and straightforward, no tech wizardry needed. Once connected, select the spreadsheet where you've got all those profile links stored, something like leads or businesses. Make sure you pick the right sheet within the spreadsheet, probably the one named links. Double check that everything's set up, then hit OK. This step is key because it's how make.com knows where to start pulling data from. Next, let's handle the scraping part. Add another module by clicking the plus icon and searching for HTTP. Select Make a Request as the action. This module is going to visit each of those URLs and pull back the raw HTML. In the URL field, map the column with the links from the Google Sheets module. This tells make.com exactly where to go. Set the method to get, since we're just grabbing data, not sending anything. For the body type, choose raw and set the content type to HTML. Click OK to save your settings. Don't worry, this step sounds fancier than it really is. You're basically telling the system, go here and grab everything you see. Now comes the fun part, extracting the juicy bits from all that HTML. Add a text parser module and choose Match Pattern as the action. In the pattern field, you'll enter a regex pattern to pull out the content inside the body tag. If you're not familiar with regex, don't sweat it. There are plenty of simple patterns online that you can copy. In the text field, map the data from the HTTP module, save it, and voila. You've just unlocked the first layer of your data. To make the HTML readable, add another text parser module and select HTML to text as the action. Map the output from the first parser and suddenly all that raw HTML turns into plain text you can actually work with. It's like taking off a complicated wrapper to get to the candy inside. Now, let's level up and put OpenAI to work. Add an OpenAI module and choose Create a Completion as the action. If you haven't connected OpenAI yet, click Connect OpenAI and pop in your API key. For the model, go with something like GPT-4o Mini. In the system role message, give the AI some context by saying, you're an expert in parsing HTML content and extracting meaningful data. This helps it understand what you're asking for. Next, in the user role message, tell it exactly what to do. Something like, extract the business details from the following text and return the result as a JSON object. Be specific about the fields you want, like name, description, pricing, and contact details. Providing a JSON structure will make the results super organized and easy to read. When you're all set up, save the settings and let it run. Watching this in action is like watching a robot handle what would have taken you hours. It's efficient, it's accurate, and honestly, it's kind of mesmerizing. All right, now that the automation is running like a well-oiled machine, it's time to make sure the data is coming out clean and formatted properly. Because let's face it, no one wants to deal with messy JSON that looks like it's been through a blender. To start, let's add another OpenAI module to validate the JSON output. Click that trusty little plus icon, search for OpenAI again, and select Create a Completion. For the prompt, use something straightforward like validate this JSON string and return it as a properly formatted object. This tells OpenAI to clean up any wonky formatting and make sure that JSON is easy to work with. Once you've set it up, save the settings. It's like giving your data a quick haircut, snipping off anything out of place and making it look sharp. Now, with your shiny, validated JSON ready to roll, The next step is parsing it. Add another module, search for JSON, and pick parse JSON as the action. This module is basically the translator. It takes the clean JSON and breaks it down into readable data that you can actually use. Map the output from the second OpenAI module into the input field here. Double check that everything's lined up correctly, then save your settings. And just like that, you've gone from raw, messy data to something structured and useful. It's like turning a pile of random ingredients into a gourmet meal. Well, maybe not that fancy, but you get the idea. Here's a little tip. While testing this, keep an eye out on the output. If anything looks off, don't panic. It might just be a small tweak in the OpenAI prompt or how the fields are mapped. Fix it up, rerun the module, and you're good to go. By now, you're probably feeling like a data automation ninja. You've set up a workflow that not only scrapes data, but also cleans and organizes it for you. Now that you've mastered cleaning and organizing your data, let's take it up a notch and dive into Apify to scrape email addresses and contact information directly from those business websites. This is where things get exciting because we're going beyond just gathering links. We're getting straight to the good stuff, contact details. First, head back to make.com and click the plus icon to add a new module again. Search for Apify and choose the Run Actor action. If you're new to Apify, let me break it down for you. Apify is like that friend who always knows where to find what you need, whether it's emails, phone numbers, or other contact details. Plus, it's super cost efficient, only $8 for 1,000 emails, and you're even giving $5 of free credit every month on the free tier. Now that's plenty of room to test out the waters without spending a dime. If you don't already have an Apify account, go ahead and sign up. Once you're logged in, navigate to the store page from the menu on the left. Use the search bar to find the Deep Email Web Scraper Actor. This tool is built for exactly what we're doing today, scraping emails and contact data. When you find it, click on the actor's name to open its page. Scroll down and click Save to add it to your account. This makes it easy to reuse in future projects. Now head back to make.com and connect Apify. In the module setup, click on Connect Apify or Add. You'll see a link that takes you to your Apify settings. Find the API and integrations page. Copy your API token and paste it into make.com. Hit save and you are officially connected. It's like syncing your phone to a new app. It only takes a minute, but it unlocks a ton of possibilities. Next, configure the Apify module. In the Actor dropdown, look for the Deep Email Web Scraper and select it. Make sure to enable Run Synchronously. This ensures that the results come back immediately, so you're not left waiting. Now, let's set up the input JSON. Go back to the Apify Actors page, click the JSON button next to Manual, and copy the default configuration. Paste that into the input JSON field in make.com. Here's the important part. Replace the default website link in the JSON with the dynamic website data from your previous modules. For example, map the links you scraped earlier using the JSON or Google Sheets module. This tells Apify exactly which sites to visit. Once that's done, save the configuration by clicking OK. All right, now that we've got Apify scraping those emails and contact details like a pro, it's time to grab that data and make it useful. This is where we'll add the Get Dataset Items action in make.com. Think of it as going to the pantry and pulling out the ingredients you need for your recipe. All the data is already there, you just need to collect it. First, click the trusty plus icon to add the new module, search for Apify again, and choose the action called Get Dataset Items. This module is designed to pull the result from your previous Apify module run. It's like calling up the data from the backend to bring it up into the spotlight. In the module settings, look for the Dataset ID field. This is where you'll select the dataset generated by your Apify actor, which in this case is the Deep Email Web Scraper. If you're not sure which dataset to pick, don't worry. Apify usually gives the dataset clear IDs based on the actor that created them. Just double check that it matches the operation you just ran. Once you've got the right one, confirm your selection. Now click OK to save the module settings. When you run the scenario, this module will pull all the data scraped by Apify and make it available for you to use in the next steps. This is where the magic of automation really comes together. You're not just scraping data, you're bringing it into a system where it can actually work for you. All right, we're nearing the finish line here. And this is where all the pieces start coming together. You've got your data flowing smoothly from Apify, but now we need to tidy it up and store it in a way that's easy to use. Let's start with aggregating all the email data into a single array and then move on to storing it in Google Sheets. First up, let's add the Array Aggregator module. Click that plus sign, search for Array Aggregator and select it. In the settings, set the source module to Apify Get Dataset Items. This tells the aggregator where to pull the data from. Next, in the aggregated field, select Email. This step gathers all the email addresses into one neat list instead of scattering them all over the place. It's like organizing your kitchen drawers. You'll thank yourself later when you can find exactly what you need. Once everything's set, save the configuration. Now that we've got all the email data, let's get it into Google Sheets. Add a new module and search for Google Sheets. Choose Add a Row as the action. This step is where we're taking the structured data from Apify, like business names, descriptions, and those freshly aggregated emails. Now it's time to map them to the corresponding columns in your Google Sheet. Make sure you select the correct spreadsheet and sheet within it. Maybe something you named earlier, like leads or businesses. Double check the mappings to ensure everything is lining up where it should. Now, you'll map the data fields to your spreadsheet columns. Match business name to the name column. This is the primary identifier for each entry. Link description to its column for the overview of what the business does. Map website to the website column for easy research. If there's a location field, map it to location, and connect services offered to services for insight into their offerings. Place pricing details in the pricing column, reviews in the number of reviews, and any star ratings in rating. Map email addresses to the email column and check the array output. Inside the brackets, put 1 to map the first email to email 1. For the second email, use 2 and map it to email 2, and so on. Array 3 to the next column and array 4 to the next column. This setup separates all the emails into individual columns, keeping everything organized and easy to use. Double check your mappings, save the settings, and test the flow to see emails neatly arranged in their own columns. Simple, clean, and ready to go. Now comes the fun part, testing this entire flow. Hit run once and watch the magic happen. Data should flow seamlessly from Apify to make.com, get aggregated, and then land perfectly in Google Sheets. If something doesn't look right, don't stress. It's usually a small mapping issue or missing field. Fix it, test it again, and you'll be golden. Once this is working like a charm, you've got a fully automated system that not only scrapes and processes data, but also stores it in a way that's immediately useful. No more digging through messy files or copying and pasting. You've just built yourself a powerhouse workflow that saves time and keeps everything organized. Take a moment to appreciate your automation skills. You're officially in the big leagues now. And that's it. You've just mastered the art of scraping B2B directories for unlimited leads. So get ready to use this system to supercharge your lead generation. It's simple, it's powerful, and now you've got it all set up. If you run into any issues or need more help, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to assist. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more easy-to-follow automation tips. And if you're serious about taking your automation game to the next level, check out our school community. It's linked below. Inside, you'll find exclusive templates, resources, and a supportive group of like-minded people ready to help you succeed. Plus, the exact template we used today is in there, so don't miss it. Oh, and before you click away, here's a video that you'll probably want to watch next. It's packed with even more tips to help you crush it with automation. See you there.